Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're back in the book of Psalms. We're talking about overcoming envy, which is tied to exposing the lies. Uh, Being envious has the ability to influence us in a way that it can literally set us on a path that has nothing to do with what we're called to do. And it can literally become a stumbling block, right? And so uh, exposing it and uprooting it is the work to be done. As I read this text, was I thought about growing up when I was a shorty. I remember seeing a older teen. He had a bankroll with a rubber band around it. He had the gold rings. He had the jewelry. He was fly, right? And I remember being so impressed and influenced by his presence, his swag, if you will. And so I immediately wanted to pursue or mimic what he was doing, regardless to what he was doing. He was a hustler, and that was not God's purpose for my life. But yet, and still, the envy, blinded me to whatever other paths that God would have me on. And so I found myself in that season. So let's look at this text, and we'll ask the question and close it out. But in Psalm 73, the psalmist says, "Truly God is good to Israel, to those whose hearts are pure." He says, "But as for me, I almost lost my footing. My feet were slipping, and I was almost gone." Here it is. "For I envied the proud when I saw them prosper, despite their wickedness." So he said, when I saw the bling, I was impressed and I wanted it. And he said, regardless to what they did to get it, he said, I was in. I wanted to be a part of that. He said, but the problem is, I almost lost my footing. I was slipping. Like this was going to be a stumbling block for me. And so I want to pose the question: what are you pursuing and why? We have to check our appetites, because sometimes we can pursue things that have nothing to do with our purpose and our calling. And these things were born, or the seeds of this could have been born or established and planted years ago, and they're still playing out in our present day. And we can wonder, why am I yet not happy? You know what I'm saying? Why do I yet feel unfulfilled, right? And it could be that you are literally still pursuing and chasing things that have nothing to do with your purpose and your calling. And so it becomes important, right, to address these lies that have been sown or that we've bought into in our ignorance, right? As a shorty, we were poor, right? I had never really seen nobody with a bankroll, so it was powerful to me, and so I pursued it. And so I just want to encourage somebody and challenge you as well. Do the work, because uprooting these lies is a process. But without having a conversation, we may never even embark on that work. So we'll leave it there. Be encouraged. And until God allow us to do it again, God bless.